Hello and welcome. My name is Savannah and I'll be guiding you through your yoga practice today. This class is called Low to the Ground because we will be staying close to the ground for the entire yoga class. We won't be doing any standing posture. We will still be challenging ourselves a little bit. Let's begin class in a seated position. Make sure you are comfortable, so make any adjustments that you need to make in order to get settled in order to be still as we come into a short meditation. So you can be in a cross-legged position, or you can be in a kneeling position. You can use any pillows or cushions that you have. And then let's begin by sitting up taller. Shoulders stack over the hips. And the crown of the head grows taller towards the ceiling. Inhale, take a big breath. Through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Two more just like that. Inhale through the nose, fill up. Exhale through the mouth. Once more, inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Then we'll start to settle into the breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Allow each breath to be full, each breath to be complete. Allow your attention and your focus to be on your breath. Notice how it feels in your body as you breathe deeply. Notice how it feels for your mind, your thoughts, as you breathe deeply. If you notice your mind is going off to other places and other things, do your best to bring yourself back to this moment, the present moment, using your breath. Using each inhale and using each exhale. And as you breathe deeply here, see if you can hear your breath and listen to your breath to stay connected to it. For these last couple of breaths, can you breathe a little bit deeper? Lengthen out each inhale and each exhale a little bit more. One final breath. begin to slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe you give your shoulders a couple of rolls. Just find any movement that feels good. And then as you're ready, we'll come into our first posture, a toes pose. So I'll turn just so you can see better. We'll sit in a kneeling position with our toes all tucked under. So I'm coming into tabletop here. I'm making sure all of my toes are tucked underneath, even my pinky toes. And then I'm sitting my hips back onto my heels. And if this feels like it's getting to be too much of a stretch, as we sit here for a while, you can bring your hands down on the mat and lean forward. If you're needing more of a stretch, you can start to lean backwards, maybe bringing your fingertips on the mat, on the space behind you. Otherwise, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders over the hips, and finding this really good stretch for the feet. As we stay in this posture, can you continue breathing nice and deeply? Can you stay with your breath? We'll be here for about 5 or 6 more breaths. Try to stay in the pose if you can. Take one more breath. Good. Notice how your feet are feeling. Notice how your toes are feeling. We'll come out of this now. Bring your hands down on the mat in front of you. Bring the tops of your feet down. Just lightly tap the bottoms or the tops of your feet down. And from here, come back onto your mat a little bit so you have more space to the front of you. And we're going to come into puppy pose. So walk your hands out towards the top of your mat. Hips stay right over the knees, high towards the ceiling. As you melt your heart, melt your chest, your forehead, all down onto the mat. And if your forehead doesn't reach the mat, that's okay. You can keep it lifted. If you're looking for a deeper stretch here, you'll attempt to bring your chin down to the mat. Two more breaths. Begin to walk your hands back in, coming back into tabletop. From here, extend your right leg off to the right, so your foot will be on the ground, off of your mat. Tuck your left toes under. Stay here if this is enough of a stretch for the inner thigh. Otherwise, you can sit the hip down onto the left heel, walk your hands farther out if you would like even more of a stretch, and maybe you bring the forehead down to the mat. You can rest the elbows, the forearms down to the mat, bending the arms. 5 breaths here. Take one more breath. Come back up onto your hands. Start to walk your hands back in. Bring your right knee back into tabletop. And we'll do the same on the other side. So take the left leg out. Foot is on the ground. Tuck the right toes under. Sit the right hip down to the right heel. Stay here. Or walk your hands farther out towards the front of your mat. Bending the arms, bringing the forearms, the elbows down, resting the forehead down as well. 5 breaths. Keep your breath nice and deep, nice and full and complete. Allow your breath to help you to stay in this present moment. Take one final breath in this pose. And then come back up onto your hands. Walk your hands back in. Bring the left knee back in to tabletop. From tabletop, lift your right knee up. Leg is bent, foot comes towards the ceiling, moving into some donkey kicks. So bring right knee in line with the left and then lift the leg back up. Keep going with this movement, bringing the knees together, then lifting the right knee up towards the ceiling. Moving at your own pace, but thinking about lifting the leg up as you inhale and lowering it as you exhale. Let's do a few more. Good, and then we're going to do something similar. We're going to take the leg out to the side now from a fire hydrant. Taking that right leg out to the side, leg is still bent. Try to put equal weight into both hands so you're not leaning too far over towards the left. Let's do a few more. Good, come back to center. Extend your legs straight and lift and lower here. You can make the movement small or big, whatever feels good for you today. One more. Good, and then bending the knee so it's in line with the left knee, and take it out to the side for your fire hydrant, and then straighten it. Bend it, bring it back in line with the other knee, lift it up, straighten it. Continue this movement, go at your own pace. Warming up the glutes and the legs. Let's just do 2 more. Good, set that knee down and we'll go right over to the other side. So your left leg will lift up. Inhale, exhale, both knees come together. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knees come in line with one another. Continue this at your own pace. Really squeeze your left glute as you lift the leg up. Let's do 3 more. Good, and then take that leg off to the side for your fire hydrants. So your leg is still bent at 90 degrees. You're taking the left leg off to the left side. Two more. Good, bring it back to center. Straighten the left leg and lift and lower, straight leg. Five more. Just 2 more. Good, and then final move here, bending the leg so it's in, both knees are in line with one another. Lift it out to the left side, straighten it, bend it, lower. Lift it up, straighten it, bend it, and lower. A few more. Try not to put too much weight into your right hand, so the weight is distributed evenly. Let's do 1 more. Lift the knee up, straighten it, bend it, and lower. Both knees come down, sit back into a quick child's pose. Arms stretch out in front of you. Forehead comes down to the mat. One more breath in your child's pose. Come back up into tabletop. Pivot your left shin off to the left, so your left foot is off of your mat. Extend your right leg straight back behind you, so the right foot is to the back of your mat. Right arm reaches up, left hand stays down. You're in a modified side plank. Reach up through the right fingertips even more. If you would like to, you can extend the right leg up. And then extend the right arm overhead so the arm is right over your ear. From here, inhale and exhale, elbow to knee. 3 more. Inhale here, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, elbow to knee. Last one. Inhale, elbow to knee. Inhale long. Stay here. Release the foot back down. Reach the arm straight up to the ceiling. And then make your way back into tabletop. Let's do the same on the other side. So take your right leg off to the side, straightening the left leg back, reaching the left arm up, right hand stays underneath the shoulder. Take 1 more breath right here. Grounding down into the mat with the right hand, and then knee, and then the foot towards the back of your mat. Lift that leg up, reach your arms straight overhead, in line with your ear. Inhale here, and exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, exhale, elbow to knee. 1 more. Inhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, hold here. Set the foot down, reach the arm back up to the ceiling, holding here for 1 final breath. Come back into your tabletop. From here, tuck all 10 toes under and lift your knees just to a hover over the mat. Tap your right shoulder with your left hand And then your left shoulder with your right hand. Keep going back and forth, tapping opposite hand, opposite shoulder, switching hands each time. Set your knees down, rest into a child's pose. Just one big breath here. From here, come up into tabletop, set your forearms down, tucking the toes under, lift your knees up just to a hover. Lift your hips up, come into dolphin. Lower your hips back down, bending your knees. Lift up, dolphin. And into hovering tabletop, forearms down. Inhale to lift the hips. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. 2 more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. From here, step the feet back so you're in a plank pose. Press more weight down into the forearms, the elbows, and the hands to lift up out of your plank. Then release everything down, come into Sphinx Pose. Relax the tops of your feet down, lift up through your chest, pull your elbows, your fingers, your hands, your forearms back towards your ribs as you lift your chest up more. Pull your elbows and your fingers farther back. And stay broad through your chest, stay broad through your collarbones. Tuck your toes under, come back into Forearm Plank. One more breath. Come back to Sphinx. Keep the toes as they are, and then lift up to Forearm Plank. Lower down to Sphinx. Lift up to Forearm Plank. Lower down to Sphinx. Lift up to Plank. One more time, Sphinx. And then Forearm Plank, and we hold here. One more breath. Lower down. Bring one hand on top of the other. Rest your forehead onto your hands. Bring your arms out wide to a capital T, and as you're ready, lift everything up off of the ground. We're staying here and holding for about 5 breaths. Last couple rounds of breath. Lower down, bring one hand on top of the other, rest for a moment. From here, hands underneath the shoulders, come up into your tabletop. Step your right foot through in between your hands, top of the mat. Left knee stays down, reach your arms up. Stay here and breathe. Allow the right knee to be stacked over the right heel. Reach up higher through the arms. Find more space along the length of your spine. From here, take the left hand down to the mat. Reach the right arm up and lift the right knee up. Lift the left knee up, sorry. One more breath in your twist. You can look up toward that top hand, your right hand if you like. Release the hand down, step back into your tabletop position. From here, step your left foot through in between your hands, top of the mat, reach the arms up. Same thing, other side. Allow the left knee to be directly over the heel. Reach up a little bit higher with your fingers. Allow your chin to be about parallel to the ground, so you're not looking down, you're not looking up. From here, take the right hand down, reach the left arm up, and lift the right knee up towards the ceiling as well. Come into your twist, look up towards the top hand if that feels okay for your neck. Find more strength through your straight leg. Bend your left knee a little bit more. Release the hand down, set your knee down, and come into tabletop. From here, bring the forearms down to the ground, tuck all 10 toes under, and lift your knees up to your hovering tabletop on your forearms. One more breath. Set your knees down. Come into plank. So fingers spread nice and far apart still. Step one foot back and then the other. Breathe in your plank. Feel that your body is a nice long line all the way from the very top of your head back to your heels. From here, lower down to your right forearm. Left forearm, you're in a forearm plank. Stay here. Lower down to Sphinx. Lift up through your chest. Untuck the toes. Pull your elbows back towards your ribs. Tuck your toes under, lift up into forearm plank. Lift up onto your right hand, and then your left hand, you're in plank. Come back to forearm plank. One forearm comes down and then the other. Come into Sphinx, staying up on the forearms. Pull your elbows back, lift up through your chest. You can untuck your toes. Tuck your toes once again, lift up into forearm plank. Come back into high plank. Come into forearm plank. This is the last time we do this. Great work, you guys. Forearm plank. One breath here before Sphinx. Lower down into your Sphinx, untuck the toes. Lift up through your chest. Pull your elbows back towards your ribs. Tuck your toes once again. Lift up into your forearm plank. Come up into plank, lower your knees down. Rest in a child's pose. Big toes together, knees slightly apart, so your torso rests in between your thighs.
Arms out in front of you, resting the forehead down. Good, come back to tabletop. Step your right foot through in between the hands. Reach your arms up for your low lunge. Think of bringing your right foot back and your left knee forward. So the foot and knee come towards one another. But they're not actually moving, this is just isometrically. From here, bring your hands to heart center, tuck your back toes under, lift up your knee as you hinge forward, hovering over your right thigh. So your left leg is straight, right leg is bent, knee over the ankle. Your chest is directly over your right thigh. One more breath here. Bring your hands down, step back into tabletop. Move through a few rounds of cats and cows. Inhale to lift. Into cow, exhale into cat. Inhale to arch, find a little back bend. Exhale to round it out. One more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, look down to your mat as you round. Stepping now, the left foot through top of the mat, low lunge. Arms reach up. Find a little bit more space between your shoulders and your ears, and also a little bit more space all along the length of your spine. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Tuck your back toes under, hinge forward as you lift the back knee up. So your right leg is straight, left knee is bent, left knee over the left ankle. Chest is directly over the left thigh. One more breath. Good, bring the hands down, step back into tabletop. From here, step into plank. Fingers are spread nice and far apart in your plank. You're on the balls of the feet. Shift forward. So the shoulders might be going past the wrists, and then shift back. Shift forwards towards the top of your mat. Shift back of the mat. Keep doing this. Try to maintain that nice long line in your plank. From the crown of your head, the top of your head, all the way back to your heels. From here, set your knees down and come all the way down to your belly. Extend your arms alongside your body and lift everything up off of the ground. Inhale to lift. We're staying here for a little bit longer, so make sure you maintain that nice deep breath. Relax everything back down and come into Sphinx. Forearms come down, elbows underneath the shoulders. Think of once again pulling the elbows back towards your ribs, towards the back of your mat. Leave your toes tucked under like so in your Sphinx and lift everything up in a forearm plank with the toes tucked under. Come back to Sphinx. Tuck the toes and come into Forearm Plank once again. Come to Sphinx. Come to Forearm Plank. Come to Plank. Come back to Sphinx. Rest one hand over top of the other. Rest your forehead down. From here, keeping the head down onto the hands, lift up your head, your chest, your arms. Hold here. One more breath. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Stay here and rest. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, press up into a little cobra. Here, think of pulling your arms or pulling your hands back towards the back of your mat. This will engage and wake up your triceps, the backs of your upper arms. Feel all the strength in your upper back. Lower down, and then bring your hands underneath your chest, bringing the thumbs and the index fingers together. And press into the hands to lift up. Inhale here, and exhale to lower. Here we go, inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Feel your triceps working the backs of your upper arms. Let's do two more. One more. Good. And then from here, hands go under the shoulders, press up into tabletop. Step your right foot through, low lunge, reach the arms up. Bring the hands down to frame your right foot and begin to straighten the right leg. Walk the hands back alongside the right leg. Spine stays nice and long. Looking towards the top of your mat. It helps to keep the spine long by staying up onto tented fingers. Let's come back into low lunge, reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, find your half split. Hands come down, straighten into the right leg. Fold down if that feels okay. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half split. Inhale, low lunge, arms reach up. And exhale, half splits. Walk your hands back, forward, top of the mat, step back to tabletop. Right away, other side, left foot steps through, reach the arms up, low lunge. So the left knee is stacked over the left ankle. Think of bringing the left foot and the right knee closer together, isometrically, so they're not actually moving. Good, bring the hands down to the mat. Framing the left foot, begin to straighten the left knee, walk the hands back on tented fingertips, which helps to keep the spine nice and long. Look towards the top of your mat to keep your neck long. Fold down over the leg as much or as little as you like. Come back into low lunge, reach the arms up, find length, find space. Come back into half splits, straightening the left leg out. You can also have a bend in your left leg. It doesn't have to be completely straight. Coming back into low lunge. Reach the arms up, grow taller, find more space. And then half splits. Low lunge, reach up. Exhale, half split. Folding over the left leg. Let's do one more round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, half split. Straightening the left leg, folding forward. Walk the hands back, forward, bending the left leg, stepping back into tabletop. From here, forearms come down, tuck the toes under, lift the knees up just to a hover. One more breath. Lift the hips up, dolphin. Lower the knees towards the mat to a hover. Lift the hips up, dolphin. Tabletop, knees lifted, dolphin. Straighten the knees. Tabletop, gaze forward. Dolphin, gaze back. A few more. Gaze forward, tabletop. Gaze back, dolphin. Come back into tabletop, hands come up. Then from here, make your way all the way down onto your belly. From here, bend your legs as if you're gonna come into bow pose. Then reach back towards your feet with your hands. Lift your chest up. We're not grabbing onto the feet here. We're coming into a very active version of bow pose. Lift the chest up more, bring the feet closer in towards your hips, towards the hands, reach back with the hands more. Lift the chest up, lift the crown of the head up. Come all the way down. We will be trying that one more time, but take a rest here. Hand on top of hand, and rest the forehead onto the hands. Okay, let's try that once again. So bend the legs, feet come towards the butt, reach back with your hands, and lift everything up. Reach further back towards your feet with the hands, closer in towards the hands with your feet. Lift the chest up more, stay very active. Engage your glutes, engage your hamstrings. One more big breath here, in and out through the nose. And then release everything down. Make a pillow for your head. And then rest your head down onto those hands. From here, hands under shoulders, lift up into tabletop. Bring your legs through in front as you come onto a seat. Coming into boat pose. So grabbing onto the backs of your legs with your hands, lifting your feet up off of the ground. You can stay here with the hands on the legs, or take them alongside your shins, reaching towards your feet. The legs can stay bent. Maybe try straightening them. Maybe just try straightening one leg and then the other. Stay here for a little bit longer. Full breaths in, full breaths out. One more breath. Good, set the feet down, come into a cross-legged position, and first sit nice and tall, and then walk your hands out forward, rest your forehead down to the mat. And if you're lifted up in your forward fold, that's okay too. Always make sure to find a shape, find a pose that works well for you. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Walk yourself back up to center. Shoulders over the hips. Extend your right leg long and cross your left foot over. Bring your left hand behind you for a twist, and the right arm hugs onto the left knee. Look back behind you over the left shoulder. Sit up even taller, bringing the crown of the head closer towards the ceiling with each breath you take. As you exhale, settle into the pose. One more breath. Release your twist, come back to center. Let's do the other side. So the left leg is straight, right foot crosses over it. Left arm wraps around the right knee. Right hand comes behind you, tensing up onto right fingertips to find more length in the spine. Look back over the right shoulder. Sit up even taller, shoulders over hips. Keep your left leg active and engaged. Left toes point up towards the ceiling. Inhale to grow taller. Exhale to settle in. Come back to center now, releasing the twist, and make your way down onto your back. Once you get there, let's extend both legs up to the ceiling. Release the right leg down to a hover over the ground. It's okay if your legs are bent here and if your hamstrings are tight, that's perfectly fine. Come back up, both legs up. Release the left leg down to that hover, just over the ground. Come back up and switch. 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 Right leg down, left leg down, right leg down. Left leg down, right leg down, left leg down. Let's do a few more. Left leg down, right leg down, one more on each side. Good, from here bend your knees so your legs are in a tabletop position, knees over the hips. Press your hands into your thighs and your thighs back into your hands. If you would like to, you can lift your head and your shoulders up off of the ground. Keep pressing hands into thighs, thighs back into hands. Press more, use more strength from your legs, your core, and your arms. One more breath. Release everything long. Legs go long, arms go long, up overhead, stretch long. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Let's do that one more time. Tabletop position, knees over hips. Hands press into thighs, thighs press into hands. Lift the head and shoulders up if you like. Otherwise, you can keep them down. Press more into the thighs. Press more into the hands with your thighs. Use more strength from your core, your legs, and your arms. One more breath. Release everything long. Arms up overhead, legs stretch out. Bring the knees into your chest, wrap the arms around the knees. Rock from side to side.
Let's extend our right leg long, leaving the left knee into our chest, holding here for a couple of deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. From here, let's grab onto the left knee with the right hand and bring it across the body over towards the right side. Extend the left arm out to the left. And guide the left knee over towards the ground, gently with the right hand. You can look over the left shoulder if you like. We'll be here for 5 breaths. Breathe deep into your belly. Take one more breath in your twist. And then slowly release your twist, come back to center. Left knee comes back into the chest just for a moment. And then switch sides, right knee comes in, left leg extends long. Holding on to the right knee with both hands. And then coming into the twist, guiding the right knee over towards the left across the body. Right arm extends out to the right. You can look over the right shoulder if that feels okay for your neck. Holding on to the right knee of the left hand, gently guiding it closer towards the ground. Inhale to maybe find a little bit more space in your twist. And exhale to settle in. One more breath. Let's slowly release and come back to center. Give the right knee one final squeeze in towards your chest. And then both knees come into your chest. Give yourself one more squeeze here. Give yourself a hug. You can rock a little bit from side to side if that feels good. Massaging out your spine a little bit. And then from here, let's release the feet to the top corners of the mat. The arms go long next to your body. Take up lots of space here for your Shavasana. If it feels better for you, you can have your feet bent. You can have the feet to the edges of your mat and the knees knock into one another. You can also lie down on your belly or lie down on your side or even sit up for your Shavasana. It's totally up to you and how your body is feeling. Make sure you are comfortable though, so that you can be still and you can take this time for yourself. Release any control that you had over your breath during your practice, and just allow your breath to be as natural as possible, letting it flow however it wants to. Know that there's nothing that you need to do right now. There's nowhere that you need to go. Simply be here with your body, with your breath, with yourself. Allow all of the benefits from your practice to integrate. All of the benefits come together. Allow yourself to be open and receptive to receive them. Also take this time in your Shavasana to pause, to be still, to simply be before you have to go back to your day and to whatever is calling to you. And if you lie here in Shavasana, you keep having one thought that keeps coming up for you. Know that you can deal with that thought after your practice. It will still be there for you. Let it be for now. please stay in your Shavasana for as long as you have time for. Enjoy this time of rest. Thank you so very much for practicing with me today, for taking this time to move your body, to find what feels good for you. Be kind and gentle with yourself. You are doing the best that you can. And be kind and gentle with others. They are doing the best that they can. I hope you have a wonderful day. The light in me sees and recognizes the light in you.